In this episode, we're talking about how to grow a management consulting business. Most management consultants think that growing means more networking. You've got to get more referrals, or you've got to look like the biggest name in the room. But the truth is, the firms that scale the fastest aren't the loudest. Instead, they're the most findable. In this episode, we'll look at the myths that are holding consultants back. And we'll look at how a single piece of thought leadership content positioned the right way can create more opportunities than months of chasing introductions. Let's take a look at myth number 1. Growth comes from networking endlessly and chasing introductions. Now, the reason that you do this is because the quality of leads that you get from networking can be great. There's already a relationship there, and maybe if you've picked the right events to go to, that you can hone in on your dream clients. You can hone in on the perfect target audience. But we know that there's some disadvantages with it, right? Like, how do you network in the right way so that you don't come across as too pushy? Or how do you know when the timing is right? Or how can I network more without having to travel more? Or is there a way for me to really scale my business but get a lot of my time back? Myth number 2, the bigger your firm looks, either online or offline, the more clients you'll get. So if you're at a networking event, or maybe you're even sponsoring an event, and you've got the biggest booth in the most center, most expensive place, is that going to result in more clients? I mean, maybe if you've tried it and it works, then I would say keep doing what works. But we'll see if we can find another strategy that will eventually replace that so you don't have to depend upon that. I mean, don't get me wrong, having a great website, having great branding, having an online experience that is actually enjoyable and that people like to go through smoothly and whatnot, I mean, those are all valuable things. But there's something extremely valuable that I would equate with gold that is missing from your business. I'll do a little foreshadowing that some of my clients, when you look at their website online, they don't look like the biggest company, but for the work that we're doing for them on YouTube, they say, Nate, we've actually got more leads than we can handle. Myth number 3, referrals are the only real path to consistent consulting work. The consistent part is the part of that phrase that I think is the myth. Referrals are wonderful. And when you can get a referral for consulting work, yeah, you want more and more of those referrals to come in. And those aren't going to stop. But what I want to add to the referrals that you're getting is a marketing approach that can actually increase that you're still generating referral quality leads. That's something that can scale and grow and something that you can actually depend upon. So these video systems that I create for my clients, not only are they dependable, but we create evergreen content that builds momentum. So it lasts for years and years, and the more that they create, the more momentum they build, and so their lead generation increases over time. So let's dive into some of the content, some of the answers that I want to give you to know how to grow your management consulting business. So the first thing is executives are not searching for a consultant. What they're searching for is answers, or they're searching for solutions to their problems. Now, what if there was a way that you could ensure, or you could guarantee that when they're searching for these solutions, that they always find you, right? There is a way for you to dominate your entire niche, your entire area of expertise. So when your target audience and these executives, they're having challenges, and they do go to YouTube, they do go to Google, and they are using ChatGPT to try and solve their problems. And I'm going to show you how you can make sure that you are appearing in front of them. So growth in your consulting business isn't about mass reach. It's not about getting the biggest speaking opportunity or having the opportunity to speak to a football stadium full of people. Or it's not about having a billboard in the most trafficked place in your state. Instead, it's about being discoverable at the exact moment of decision. Consultants can grow by creating credibility assets. So we're going to talk about this in terms of searchable content. All right, now you can create an amazing article or an amazing video and post it to social media. The only people that see that are your friends or your connections on social media. It doesn't market you one bit. So we're talking about creating content that is actually searchable, that when you post it, it becomes indexed so that people that are asking and searching and researching, that they can find your video or your article as the answer. How do I compete with bigger firms if I'm small? Well, the good news is this process doesn't depend upon the size of your company. So whether you're big or you're massive or you're teeny and small, it's the approach that you take that matters. So if you can create this indexable or this searchable content, you provide an amazing answer to that question, your content will rank at the top of YouTube, Google, and ChatGPT. Now that might sound like a lot, but it's actually pretty simple. The secret is YouTube itself, because YouTube is an indexable content platform. When you post a video to YouTube, YouTube is built upon a search engine from its foundation. So within YouTube, you can search for that content, but it's also indexed so that Google can search it. The transcript of the video and the fact that that video is ranking at the top of YouTube influence what ranks on the top of Google, and the same thing influences what shows up in ChatGPT. So that's why with my clients, we focus on creating the YouTube videos, because the YouTube videos will show up on all these other places. Should I spend more time networking or creating content? I don't need you to stop everything that you're doing to focus on creating YouTube videos. If you're going to networking events and it's working, or you're doing speaking and it's working, it's generating you leads. The system that I use with my clients is very efficient. I mean, when we film content, we'll film 20 episodes in a day, and it might be the smartest decision to begin launching 1 episode a week. So think about that. We do 1 day of filming, 20 episodes. That's 5 months worth of content. So you can continue doing your speaking or your networking while building this search-based content and this search-based lead generation in the background. Well, as that starts to kick in, as you're starting to generate leads, then some of the less effective speaking engagements or some of the less effective networking events, you might start to pull back and not go to as many of those. The ones that are your favorite, the ones that are the most effective, obviously keep going to those. And as you're starting to get more and more results from this YouTube and ChatGPT lead generation, you'll be the judge of when you should increase and ramp up YouTube and when you should decrease the traveling. What type of marketing builds trust with executives? Well, I can tell you what type of marketing does not build trust, and that's pushing ads in front of them. So paid ads are like the worst for building trust with executives. But imagine if an executive were going to ChatGPT or going to YouTube search and trying to solve their problem, and they found your video where you're not selling anything, but you're just answering their question and you really help them out in the video. That builds a lot of trust. So guess what that executive does next? They go to your website, they look at your promo videos, they look at your offers, and they go to your calendar and they schedule an appointment with you. So once you know that growing your consulting business comes from being findable, the next step is knowing exactly how to position this content so that these executives can find you. The next ingredient that you need to learn is called authority marketing. When they find your content, how do you ensure that they see you as the authority? And what are the biggest factors in making sure that they find your content instead of your competitors? So I'm going to link to the next video right here. It teaches you what is authority marketing and how do you do it. I highly recommend that that's the video that you watch next. I'll see you there.